Alright, hi, I'm Todd Stakowski, and I woke up in the middle of the night to this. I mean, not in the middle of the night, this morning when I got up. This is what happened. Flooded out. Come over here, what happened? What happened? Over here, it's dripping. You can see it is dripping from the drip leg on the hot water heater. This is what failed right here, the drip leg attachment. I could just replace this and probably fix it, but this thing's old. I'm getting a new one. I ain't gonna play with this thing no more. I'm getting a brand new one. Hi, we're showing you how to replace a hot water heater today, and the first thing you want to do before removing the other hot water heater or doing any work to it at all is shut the main water valve off to your house. The reason you want to do this is because I'm shutting it off now. This is the main to the hot and cold water. Now, this is any water coming into the house, it is shut off. The reason you want to do this is because most of the time, just like my valve, when you shut off the main to the hot water heater, a lot of times it doesn't shut off completely. This will shut off your water completely. We are removing the drip leg from the original hot water heater because this can be reused. And here we go. Just unscrew it. They don't come with drip legs. Alright, so what you want to do before is shut the main water off, the main water supply to your house. Then after that, shut your gas off. Okay, now gas flows through this pipe. If this thing is facing this way, the gas is going this way. Turn it this way, gas is coming out. Whoa, it stopped. It can't come past this point. It stopped right here. So now you're safe to remove the rest of what you need to do.
Okay, our hot water heater is drained. It took about 45 minutes to an hour. We're glad we decided to go for brand new hot water heater because that means it has collected a good amount of stuff traveling through the water supply. So now we disconnect our hose here after shutting our valve, and we can go on to the next step. Now, if for some reason this valve is clogging on you, all you have to do is disconnect your hose, take a hammer,
open it up, see if it's still dripping. It's probably going to drip a little bit now.
No.
Okay, good. It's all the way empty. It took about a half hour, 45 minutes to drain completely. Alright, so now we're good. Now we can start putting in the new hot water heater. Okay, before buying your additional connections to hook up your new hot water heater to where your old hot water heater went, this right here is 3/4 inch plumbing hookup. This is copper. This is copper. These are 3/4 inch lines. Okay, now, down here, this looks like a 3/4 inch line, but this is a gas line. Now, this is considered a 1/2 inch line. Why is it a 1/2 inch line? Because the inside diameter hole is a 1/2 inch on gas. On plumbing, it's measured by the outside diameter. So water is outside diameter measurements, 3/4 inch. Gas lines, inside diameter measurements, 1/2 inch. We're going to cut the gas line here with a Sawzall. This is the quickest way and most efficient way. Okay, first thing we're going to do is I'm just going to cut the gas line. The gas is off, as you can see, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it. Okay, we either need a female or a male. Let's say you don't know which connection you need. This is a female because the male end is going into the female, okay? So from here I know I can connect a male connection. But what if I need a female connection? Well, then I want to save this end. So I can see this is a female going onto the male end. So what that means is I'm going to cut it right here. That's simple. I'm going to start cutting. Alright, so there we go.
Okay, now that we have to shorten this line right here, so I have to take a pipe wrench. Because of how long this line is hanging down, I've decided that I was going to find something to short up so that I'm not forced to try to hold up while loosening the pipe. So now that I have this bucket here, it's not going to allow the pipe to bend or break. So now we just take our pipe wrench, seat all the way to the back, get a firm grip, and just give it nice, even pulls. Now with a pipe wrench, you do not want to snag on the line. You just want to give it some easy turns. And once it's loose, we can take the pipe wrench off and we can unscrew the gas line.
Okay, now we have to remove the flue cap before we can cut the pipes. So, what I'm using, which is a universal tool, you can buy it at Home Depot, Lowe's, any general hardware store, is a 6-way screwdriver. They're very cheap, they're about $2. Now, let's see if this one will work. Oh, that end's too big, so what do? Well, let's put this end back in, flip it around, because there's a hex head on this end for removing machine screws. Oh, look at that. Now, what do? We turn it, we remove the machine screws. Done. Moving on to the next one. That one's out. Okay. Do the same process all the way around. Okay, the screws are out of our flue cap, so here's what you do. You take the flue cap. Well, mine popped out of the wall, so it makes it even easier. Alright, so now we're going to use this thing. This is a close quarters pipe cutter. This is a rigid one. It expands from, I don't know, 1/2 inch to 3/4. That's basically all you need. I'm going to cut the copper pipe right here. Now, you want to cut the pipe as low. I'm going to cut it in the middle of this run right here. But you want to cut it kind of low because each hot water tank, they're different than the one you're not going to get the same exact one you just bought. You're going to get a 40-gallon one. You're going to get one that is, approximately the same height with a variable of a few inches. So, because if you cut it like too long, you can always cut more off. You don't want to cut up here. You cannot cut into the galvanized pipe. And CPVC, you can cut that anywhere you want and replace it because it's so cheap. But I'm cutting everything on the copper parts. And this is what you do. You spin it around, you tighten it. Spin it around, get a full turn on it, tighten it, spin it around, and so on. Okay, now we cut through the pipe. There we go. This one's done. Now I'm on to the next one. Same thing. Put it on there. It takes a couple minutes, maybe. I'm used to this, so I'm pretty quick, but it may take you, it's no big deal. It takes you 5 minutes, takes you 1 minute, whatever. Okay, so now we're cutting pipes again. Alright, so now this one just cut. Here we go. All pipes are loose. This one's loose. This one's loose. We're good.
Okay, now that our lines are disconnected, our gas has been disconnected, it's time for us to get this one out of the way. Now, if you're here by yourself, and you've left enough of a spine on your lines, you can actually use those screws and just lock it over the legs so it's out of your way.
Alright, so this is the hot water heater we're going to replace the one we just removed with. This is a Rheem, which is a good brand. It's a 40-gallon, exactly the same size. It's also a gas. Now, what the main thing is, if you have a gas water heater, you want to make sure you get a gas water heater, okay, because they have electric. To convert an electric to gas is too much of a hassle to me. I have a gas one, I'm putting the gas one back in. This one was like $300 and some. I don't know, I'll show you the receipt later, but anyway, it's energy efficient, whatever. I need hot water, that's the answer. Okay, so now we got the new hot water heater. We're trying to line it up as it was before, okay. This is your cold water line, which has the valve on it. So that's how you can tell your cold water line. It has the valve. This is the hot water line. This is the line that comes out. After the water's heated, it comes out here and goes through your system. So now we're at the point of lining it back up. Okay, the first thing I'm going to start with is the gas line. You can either do the water line or the gas line. It doesn't matter. Alright, so I'm going to start with the gas line. I bought a gas line. This is a 1/2 inch fitting. This is a 1/2 inch gas line, and I'll show you how to hook it up. Okay, we're using a flex line this time because flex lines are so much easier. Look at this. I got plenty of space. Anyway, first thing you need to do is you have to take off the adapters, okay, the couplings. And then you want to put pipe dope on every area, even the pre-assembled areas. And how you do that is this. You just squeeze it out of the tube and roll it around. That one's done. Okay, we're going to this one. Put pipe tape on there. We're done on that. Almost. Now we're done. Okay. Alright, so now we want to put the pipe doped pieces of adapters that connect both sides. This is the side that goes into the hot water heater. I'm just putting it on there hand tight for now. And then this is the one that goes into the gas line. And as you can see, I'm making a mess, but it doesn't matter. You want pipe dope on here. Look at that, and how sloppy it is. Anyways, okay, so now we have everything doped up, which I like dope, so that's cool. It's called pipe dope. Anyway, this end has a flow valve. This is actually a flow valve. And the reason I'm saying that is because if you look inside of it, the line is blocked. I don't know if you can see that, but if you push through this way, gas will flow. If you screw it in this way and gas is coming out, it'll be blocked. This has a check valve. That is a check valve. So you want to make sure that the flow, which tells you in arrows, flow goes this way. It's going this way. You want to hook it up on the gas line. Okay, this is the gas line. So we're going to pull it up here, just hand tight for now. Okay, so we're on the gas line. And now the gas line is flowing in the proper direction. And this is a flex line. You can bend it any way you want to bend it. And just make it go in here. It's super easy. And now we're screwing in here. So now you want to tighten all your connections with a pipe wrench. That's what I'm using. You can use an adjustable wrench. You can use a pipe wrench. I'm using channel locks. Alright. Tighten this one. I'm not going to get through all of it because I'm going to do it later. This one here, see how it's spinning by itself? That one, there's four areas. This area, anything that's hex shaped, just tighten them up as much as you can with either channel locks, adjustable wrench, and then this one. All these areas have to be tightened as best as you can without stripping it. And once it gets tight, you're good. You'll be able to.
Okay, I'm going to hot water line right now, and I need to remove this old shark bite because of our new shark bite onto the CPVC line right here. We're going to a male adapter coupling 3/4 of an inch because we're going to use flex hoses because it's a simpler method. Now, to get this old shark bite off, they have these shark bite tools. I need the 1/2 inch right here. Now this is an easy tool. It clips around the piping. You slide down, and the pipe comes right off. And this is our new shark bite with our male thread 3/4 adapter. And all you do is take it, twist until it goes completely up, and it will not shift from that point on. Okay, the next step for me is getting piped up on this male fitting here and this male fitting here on the hot water side. We also, going easier, decided to, since we are going with flex tube for the gas line, to go with flex tube for the plumbing because it gives us more maneuverability. And this 2-pack is also color coordinated for us. And this is what we're going to use here. Now what I'm going to first do is apply my dough onto my fitting. Okay, now we just applied the pipe dope to our shark bite fitting, and we're going to do the same thing on the hot water heater. It eliminates the purpose of Teflon tape, and in personal opinion, it makes a better seal. You just want to make sure you got a nice amount all the way around there. And now, all I need to do is clean my hands and attach my flex pipe. Okay, now I'm going to sit here, first hand tighten in my connector. Okay, the first one I have hand tightened. Now I'm going to hand tighten to the other end of the flex cable for the hot line down onto the hot water heater. Afterwards, I'm going to take my wrenches and tighten down my fittings. Okay, now I'm finishing up, tightening up this top line right here. Just a couple more adjustments. There we go, nice and snug. Okay, now that we're done with the pipe wrench, because we only use that to hold the shark bite, which will slide around the PVC pipe, we'll take our channel locks and finish tightening down onto the hot water side here. And once we have this snug down, we're going to take a napkin and clean up all this extra pipe dope off of the hot water heater. And all you really want to do is hold on to the line. And again, you want to snug it down in, but you do not want to over tighten any of these lines because you can actually crack them. And this is nice and tight. We're going to grab our napkin now, clean up, and our hot side will be done.
Alright, so here's what we have to do. This shark bite is a 3/4 by 3/4, but one end is a clip-on end, and the other end is the male end that will go under here and screw onto the female end of our flex line. So, I'm going to open this. Alright, so now we're going to put our shark bite on. Whoa. I can't get it on there. Okay, so here's what we got to do. Thank God for flex lines. Look at this. Oh, I just moved it. This line's still intact. This line's still intact. And now, bam, shark bite's on there. Okay, so next thing you need to do, we have the cold water connection, which is your main water supply going in. Heats up in here, comes out. Now it's hot coming out. So the first thing you want to do, as always on any connections when doing a hot water heater installation, you want to put pipe dope. Put some on here, go all the way around with it. Same with this. Put it all the way around. Alright, neither one of these lines, hot or cold side, have a check valve like the gas line. So this means you can put it on this way or this way. It doesn't matter. So we're going to thread this one on here. Anyway, it gets one. Lock it in the top with your pipe wrench and the bottom tighten with your channel locks until it's tight. And then just tighten your cold line in with your channel locks because they're much easier to use than a pipe wrench, at least for me. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is install the new flue that comes with the hot water heater. And what you need is a hand drill, or you can use a screwdriver. But every man should just have a power drill. Come on. Anyway, and then you put the screws in. There's one. And then number two. Alright, so now we have carbon monoxide gas that's pouring into the household. How do we solve that? Well, we got to use the pipe and put it back on. Wait a minute. It doesn't fit. Whoa, we got a problem here. What we got to do now is cut the pipe down. Alright, so as you can see, we took this part of the pipe off, and it's way too long, so we got to trim some of this off. And this is how you do that, to make it line back up to go outside of your house. Good themes. Okay, so now we want to start cutting. You take a pair of metal snips. I'm using right-hand snips, so kind of go in a circular fashion with right-hand snips. Keep going. It's only going to take a couple seconds before you get to where the area you need to be at. Get to a hard level. It does get a little hard to cut, but that's how you cut it. Okay. And then you just keep going. Stop. Okay, so we cut it down to the right length. It's pretty easy. It took me about a minute. Cut that excess length off to where it's at now. Now watch. Push this in here. They go back together. On my own particular house, this is how it is. But it works with everyone's house. If you have to extend the pipe, there are ways to do that. But this is how we're doing it now. Look at that. Now we're back on there. We got our foot hooked up. We're going to screw it in place. There we go.
Okay, I'm taking the drip leg from the old hot water heater because there's nothing wrong with it. It's just for overflow in case there's too much pressure in the tank. That's actually what it's designed for. And all I'm going to do is hand tighten this. This is just in case the system gets under too much pressure. It'll vent the hot water out versus dumping. Hot water heater has been installed. We need to start filling the hot water tank. We need to fill that up before we turn the gas on and light the pilot.
Say, look, now listen. You can actually hear it filling up. We're filling it up right now.
Okay, now that we've hooked everything up, we have to reopen our gas valve. Once the gas valve is open, we have to move down to the pilot, from the off to the pilot position. Now we have to hold the pilot position in for approximately 15 seconds to bleed the air It is in the lines right now as the gas is being fed in.
Alright, so now the last thing you want to do in the process is just check your connections. Is anything leaking? No. Nothing leaking here, nothing leaking here. We're good. I'm going to have hot water about an hour in my house, which I haven't had since this morning when I figured out that the hot water heater went up. So now I'm going to have hot water heat. Alright, so now as you can see, we waited about an hour and the water is hot. It's warm. Okay, it's just coming through the line, so it's getting hotter. So now it's getting hotter. As you can see, there's steam. See the steam coming off of it? It's now getting hot, super hot. Yeah, it's getting real hot. So everything works.